Mr. President, we are now witnessing the burlesque of intrigue and fabrication, swayed by arbitrariness and high-handedness of ulterior forces at the August Assembly Hall of the United Nations. Those important mission is to protect and promote genuine human rights, among others. It is shocking that such a meeting is convened at the headquarters of the United Nations, going against universal will of the international community, opposing politicization, selectivity, double standard of human rights. Yet more deplorable indeed is the invitation as witnesses of the scum of the earth who don't care about even their parents and families. And the international community vividly recalls that Shin Dong-hyuk, who has gone hell-bent on the plot of the human rights racket against the DPRK at the UN Forum almost 10 years ago, confessed the distortion on his past, engrossed on petty money-making. As for human rights organizations such as HRNK and Hanboys, they are a group of the human rights servants who engage themselves in propagation, incitement, and abduction of our citizens, and service of fabricated shocking testimonies under the political and the financial patronage of the hostile government, including United States and ROK. Today's meeting, as promised on the false material, framed to keep up squalid subsistence of the swindlers. This fact clearly proves of itself the illegal and intriguing nature of this meeting. The DPRK delegation strongly denounces and rejects this meeting, convened from being political motive to defame and dignity and prestige and plunder sovereignty of our state. The unlawful setting as a today's meeting by the United States and the West under the fictitious human rights issue of ours is nothing more than last resort to conceal the failure of the hostile policy and controversial maneuver by beating at least hackneyed human rights drum. There could be no worse miscalculation than this if hostile forces think they can distort reality human rights enjoyed the tens of the million Korean people under the social system form guarantee of their genuine human rights. A real culprit, the sixth human rights dog of the United Nations, and none other than the United States and the West that acquire notorious fame as a state of worst racial discrimination, kingdom of human trafficking, heaven of suicide, and criminal state of sexual slavery. Such being case, these countries insult and slander the human rights situation of other countries at their own will, and cannot but outrageous mockery of and challenge the multiple UN resolutions and human rights conventions enshrined in the UN Charter, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the other relevant principles of the human rights. Instead of facilitating respect and cooperation among states and promoting and protecting human rights worldwide, UN Forum is being transformed into the channel of the hegemony and instrument of human rights violations by rampant arbitrariness and high-handedness of certain powers. Our righteous international community should heighten the vigilance against this dangerous trend. Ensuring genuine human rights is unthinkable even for a moment apart from safeguarding national sovereignty. It is top priority task for ensuring human rights in DPRK to thoroughly defend the right to sovereignty, existence, and development in the face of existential threat from the United States and the other hostile forces. Human rights pressure by hostile forces is getting ever more reckless. It requires that we take all more decisive action to exercise sovereign rights for the sake of the well-being of the state and people. The DPRK will not tolerate in the slightest reckless human rights rackets of the hostile forces and safeguard the sovereignty and security interests of the state as well as the socialist system living ground of our people. In conclusion, my delegation strongly call attention to the fact this meeting is a dangerous precedent which contradicts the UN Charter and general principles of the international human rights law with respect for sovereignty and non-interference as its core. In this vein, we call on all member states aspiring after independence and justice to categorically oppose and reject the plot of the ulterior forces in their attempt to politicize and weaponize of the human rights. I thank you.